So guys, welcome back to my channel. Montell Gordon here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 books every single entrepreneur needs to read. So guys, we're going to talk about the top 5 books every entrepreneur needs to read. Make sure you guys stay until the end because I'm actually going to show you how to get any one of these books for free. I'm going to show you a little hack. Starting out at number 1 is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now this book is more of a mind frame, like mindset type of business book. It's not teaching you the actual nitty gritty stuff of actually making money. It's more like where your mind should be at, how you should be looking at money. It's basically the book of money. It's amazing, to be honest. It's basically about a kid that has two dads. Obviously the kids obviously Robert Kiyosaki, he has 2 dads, or technically he has one, his friend's dad and his own dad. His own dad actually has a degree, has a nice job, but he's actually classed as the poor dad, whereas his rich dad is a business owner. And it's just the whole book just shows you what, like, how the working class and middle class and basically the poor people, not my words, his words, the poor people think compared to how the rich people think, which are, you know, business owners. And it just shows you, like, the poor, when they get like a paycheck or something, they focus on buying and investing into liabilities, like upgrading their house, like going from one apartment to a bigger apartment, or buying a new car, or buying a new TV, or anything that costs money basically. Whereas the rich focus on acquiring assets that are gonna make them money. And it just shows you the contrast between what type of, like, the two types of people, so the rich people and poor people. It just shows you the real contrast and the differences between the way they think and what they invest their money into. But yeah, definitely pick that book up. So another book I recommend you guys pick up and read is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now this book again is another mindset book, but it is probably the book that started, you know, the self-development and that sort of genre of books. It's basically the Bible of that sort of stuff. It's probably the one that started it all off. It was the founder basically, the original. But yeah, the book's all about manifestation, being able to use your subconscious mind to basically manifest your desires. So it talks a lot about manifesting and fabricating your, you know, actual desires into real life things. So for example, I'll give you a quick example. Look at Thomas Edison, for example. Nobody ever thought that a light bulb would be possible, like artificial light would be possible without having like some sort of flame, you know, like back in the old day when they had to use like flames and shit. So everybody believed that artificial light was completely impossible, unheard of, couldn't be done. Whereas Thomas Edison, in his mind, he desired to make that so bad, he actually invented the light bulb. In the book it talks about this thing called the infinite intelligence that basically you tap into when you desire something so bad, and you kind of manifest and fabricate whatever you desire into the real world type of thing. Now when I say desire, it talks about you have to have a burning desire. For example, Thomas Edison, it took him 10,000 tries or something like that to, you know, actually create a light bulb. I forgot who it was, but there's also another story of if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's the story of burning the bridges or burning the boats or whatever it is, where a troop of like soldiers came onto an island to battle a massive army of soldiers, and the captain who was leading them actually burnt their boats and said, look at the boats burning, you've got no other choice now but to win this battle. And he ended up winning the battle solely based on their desire to win alone. So when he talks about desire, he talks about that sort of burning desire, and that you should have desires, and you need to use them and manifest them into the real world. So I'm gonna give you a quick 30-second rundown on this book because it's actually huge, just to kind of show you why it is so freaking powerful. Basically, it is written by a guy called Napoleon Hill, who was set out on a challenge by a guy called Andrew Carnegie, who was the most successful businessman in the world. Basically, the challenge was he needs to devote 20 years of his life, Napoleon Hill needs to devote 20 years of his life going around the globe, basically interviewing all of the world's top 500 most successful business owners. And he had to report his findings and write down what made these people successful. So throughout the book, there's 13 principles he talks about. I'm not going to go into all of them now. If you guys want to, you can just pick up the book. But he goes through these 13 principles, and there's like a kind of secret that if you get all of these from the start of the book, you have to guess like this kind of secret. He doesn't tell you, Napoleon Hill doesn't tell you what the secret is in the book, but apparently if you read the book and you get every single if you understand each each one of the principles, then the secret kind of comes to you. Now, this secret that he's talking about cannot be learned, it cannot be taught, it just kind of just comes to you after you read the book, type of thing. I think I have some sort of idea of what it is, but I'm not going to try to spoil it. But I will definitely be reading this book again myself, just because it's so freaking good. I reckon everybody should really read this book. It really gets you into that exact mindset you need for success. And I am a big advocate of, manifestation, meditation, daily affirmations, having that desire. I already understand how powerful the subconscious mind is already. I'm not trying to get too woo on you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the third book on the list is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. The book is basically what it says on the tin. It's the 7 habits of, what successful people do, how they think, how they act, all that sort of good stuff. Basically the habits of successful people. So now that you've gone through Rich Dad Poor Dad, learned about kind of like the differences between rich and poor people, you've gone through the mindset of Think and Grow Rich. Now you actually need the habits of successful people, and that's why I kind of ordered it in this way. I definitely picked this one up because it shows you the habits of successful people, how they think, how they act, what they do, their behaviors, that sort of stuff. So definitely get into that book. Okay, so the fourth book on the list is a book called .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Now this book is real nitty gritty, like how to sell stuff online type of stuff. So if you're an internet entrepreneur like me, definitely pick this book up because it tells you how to build sales funnels, how to take people through a value ladder, how to create email funnels, what sort of stuff you should be putting in your emails, how to drive traffic, how to own your own traffic, anything and everything to do with online selling. You definitely need this book. So if you are starting a personal brand, definitely pick up this book. If you are into e-commerce, definitely pick up this book. If you're doing social media marketing, definitely pick up this book. Pick up this book if you actually want to know the physical step-by-steps of how to sell online. So that's what that book's all about. Like I said, tells you how to build sales funnels using his own software called ClickFunnels, which is an amazing software. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of it. Like I said, it is the nitty-gritty, like technical stuff that you need to actually use to sell. This book right here teaches you how to make money step by step online, how to sell. It even teaches you stuff like webinar funnels. So like if you have a personal brand and you want to take someone through to like a landing page, get them to sign up to one of your webinars, what you should say in one of your webinars, and how to close them at the end of a webinar. So yeah, it's just got everything in it, anything you could ever want from online selling. Definitely pick that book up, 100%. So the fifth and final book that every entrepreneur needs to read is the book by Jordan motherfucking Belfort, and that is The Way of the Wolf. Now this book is all about selling, how to close over the phone, how to cold call. He talks about everything selling. He actually mentions his straight line selling system, and obviously he's one of the greatest salesmen in the world. I mean, look at the movie. I mean, that is just a movie, but he's definitely got some skills when it comes to selling. He's kind of taken out the the illegal parts out and just kept the legal stuff. If you guys have watched The Wolf of Wall Street, yeah, so definitely pick up this book. So I've given you a couple of mindset books. So how you should be thinking about money, how you should separate yourself from how the rich think to the poor, So I've given you a book on that. I've given you a book on the mindset you actually need to manifest and use your desires to get what you want. I've given you a book on the habits you actually need to install in yourself to become successful, and these are all coming from like top business people. I've given you a book on, you know, how a book that teaches you how to sell online, and now that you know how to sell online, the last part of the puzzle is actually to get the book The Way of the Wolf, because that's going to teach you how to sell. And as an entrepreneur, if you cannot sell, you're basically not an entrepreneur. You need to be able to sell. Selling is everything. Selling is how you're going to make money. You know, like, you have to sell. It's just the way of the world, the way of the wolf, I guess. So yeah, those 5 books in combination with each other are friggin' powerful. I'm telling you that now. Without those books, I wouldn't be where I am now. If you guys actually want these books for free, click the link in the description below and I'll hook you up with a 30-day free trial for Audible. So that's kind of a win-win situation. You get the book, you get to sign up to Audible for free for 30 days. Then you get 1 free book. Not only that, if you guys don't like reading, because I know reading can take a lot of time, especially if you're a slow reader, you can just literally listen to your book podcast style, because it's audiobook, and just, you know, do whatever you're doing throughout the day while you're listening to these books, and actually soak up some actual good information that it's not going to get taught in schools. So yeah, definitely pick up those books. Those are my top 5 recommended books. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Please drop me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.